Hi everyone, I'm James Myers. In this video today, I'm going to talk about something that may be stopping you from shopping for houses. Something you may be concerned with and you don't want to talk about. It's a private issue, it's a personal issue, and you don't want to discuss it with strangers. As a real estate agent, I do not need to know your personal net worth or your complete financial situation. I don't care if you have 50 cents or $50 million in the bank. Some buyers don't want to tell strangers how much money they have, or how much money they don't have. I understand that. I just got a loan for a truck, and I didn't need to tell the salesman all about my financial situation and how much I make and owe and that kind of stuff. I'll leave that for the finance company. Although I am concerned with whether you are pre-approved for a house, or maybe you're paying cash for a house, or somebody's buying it for you. I want to make sure you're qualified to buy the house you're looking for, because it's a waste of everybody's time to go looking at houses and putting in offers on houses you're not qualified to buy. But I still do not need to know how much money you have in the bank. I may ask you where you work, do you own a house already, how much you owe on that house, general qualification questions for your real estate situation. But in Ontario, realtors are not required by any law to ask about your personal financial situation or net worth. What made me think of doing this video was, I went to buy a life insurance policy as I'm going to turn 50 in a few months, and as you get older, I hear that it gets more expensive to get life insurance. My insurance broker asks me questions about my net worth, how much I made, and all this kind of stuff. Assets, and I thought, well, that's kind of strange. How come she's asking me all this stuff? So after I answered the questions, and after we were done, I asked her why she asked me about my net worth. And she said by law, they have to ask those questions. Now, this is not to say we are not allowed to ask you about your personal financial situation. Some agents may ask, and I may ask occasionally too. I just want you to know that this is not required by any law or any governing body covering real estate agents within Ontario. Now, in different parts of Canada, it may be different, or down there in the USA, there may be different law for this. We just need to know if you're qualified to buy a house. Now, on another note, I read a lot of sales and marketing books, as any good real estate agent should, and an old school objection handling technique that pops up a lot is how to deal with the objection of, when you're talking to a potential client, the objection of, oh, I have a friend or relative who's a realtor, who's in the real estate business, and I'm going to list with them. One of the objection handling techniques is to say to that person, oh, you wouldn't want your friend or relative to know all your personal financial information, would you? Keep it away from your friend or relatives. Don't let them know your personal information. I have always despised that response, that way of dealing with people, because I know that as a seller or buyer, you don't really need to tell your real estate agent how much you make, how much you own, all your personal financial information and stuff like that. It's just a tactic used by some agents to try to convince you to list or deal with them rather than your friend or relative. I don't need to know if you have $30,000 in credit card debt, if you make $75,000 a year, or $175,000 a year, as long as you are qualified to buy a house. Your mortgage broker will ask all the intrusive questions and then tell you how much you're qualified for. That's their job. Now, if you were selling a house and you were 3 months behind in your mortgage payments and 4 years behind in your taxes, yeah, you better tell your agent about that one, because you're at risk of losing the house. And if somebody puts an offer in on that house and you go lose the house power sale in between the time the house closes, or the deal is written and the house closes, yeah, you're going to be in trouble. So your agent needs to know about that kind of thing up front if you're behind in your taxes or your mortgage. So there you have it. Don't be reluctant to go looking for a house because you don't want to tell your real estate agent about the millions of dollars you have stashed in your mattress. You don't have to tell us, and we don't need to know. Thank you for watching, and before you click on your next video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below.